All right, number 8, describe how the graph of the equation relates to the graph of y equals x squared. And we know at this point that y equals x squared is a parabola that opens up with its vertex at the origin 0, 0. And we've been given f of x equals quantity x minus 8 squared plus 5. This is also a parabola, and what we're being asked to do is describe how the graph of this parabola differs from the graph of this parabola. And so to do that, we have to recall what we learned in class, specifically about vertical translations and horizontal translations. And these two charts here come directly from your textbook on pages 249 and 250. And so I'm not going to get into specifics about these technical definitions, but what we are going to do is quickly look at what's happening with the graph of this parabola. We can see inside the parentheses here, we've got something going on. We've got this x minus 8. And we know that horizontal translations happen inside this set of parentheses. Now, your first intuition might be to say, oh, we have x minus 8. That must mean we're going to move to the left 8 units. But in fact, with horizontal translations, we do the opposite of what we've been given. So in this case, x minus 8 tells us we really should be moving 8 units to the right. So this graph moves 8 units to the right. All right, so we've dealt with our horizontal translation. Now let's look at the vertical translation. Vertical translations always occur at the end of the function, and vertical translations are nice because they actually do what the sign indicates. Meaning, in this case, we have a plus 5, and so our graph, the graph of this parabola, is going to shift 5 units up. All right, so this graph moves 5 units up. All right, if this was minus 5, then we would say the graph moves 5 units down. And similarly with our horizontal translation, if this was x plus 8, we would say the graph moves 8 units to the left. All right, so again, horizontal translations do the opposite of what's indicated, and for vertical translations, you do what's indicated. Let's look at this visually. This is not, and we'll check that off, we accomplished our vertical translation. This wasn't called for in the directions, but it's always nice to take a look and see what's happening visually using our graphing calculator. So from the main screen, go ahead and hit y equals, and we're going to put two graphs into our calculator. We're going to put the parent graph, the parent function, y equals x squared. So let's graph that, and we'll say x squared. And then on the next line, let's go ahead and put in the graph of the parabola we were given. So in this case, oops, not x, let's back that up. X minus 8, close parentheses, squared plus 5. All right, and we'll do a standard zoom. And so the first graph we should see is right there, y equals x squared. And then the next graph we should see is this f of x, which recall means y. So y equals quantity x minus 8 squared plus 5. And we said that this graph that we were asked to describe how the graph changed moved to the right 8 units. So from the y equals x squared, where the vertex was at 0, 0, we said it moved 8 units to the right, and then it moves 5 units up. And in fact, that's exactly what happened. So again, it's nice to visually confirm what we said is happening to the function of number 8.